What is up, everybody? What is up? It is your boy MM2K back again. Another video. We're here with Cold Blood. Cold Blood, how you doing today, good brother?
Awesome.
We got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the Kadokawa situation and what that actually means for PlayStation. I know a lot of people are confused. They're like, hold on, what's going on here? You do see Xbox fanboys celebrating as if there's something to celebrate. But whatever, man. Hey, whatever makes them, whatever keeps them off the 1-800 hotlines, man, I'm for it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever keeps them sane for the holiday season so they can spend time with their family and not be a threat to anybody. You know, I'm for it. But yeah, we're gonna try to break down what it actually means, what it doesn't mean, and what are the likely possibilities out of it. And then we're going to talk about the big news yesterday, which was the Mark Cerny presentation in the Digital Foundry follow-up in regards to the PlayStation 5 Pro and PSSR. They go into depth about what are their goals with PSSR. What is it that it can do? Then there's future tech that relates to the console that they're, promoting as well. So we get into a decent deep dive. I'll call it a decent deep dive about PlayStation, their plans with future consoles, and PSSR. So you guys definitely want to stick around for that. But before we get into that, I'm gonna just, I know my brother's in the middle of doing something right now, but just real quick, Cold Blood, what have you been playing so far this week?
Rise of Ronin.
Okay.
Stalker 2.
Oh, okay.
Tried out the new update for Helldivers as well.
Oh, okay. All right, what you think about that?
Well, definitely not a solo thing. Nah.
Yeah.
Fuck this new actually if you play it alone.
Yeah. Are they worse than the robots?
Don't know.
Oh, okay.
But they definitely worse than the fucking bugs.
Yeah. You could do the bug shit by yourself if you've been playing long enough, whatever. But he said, nah, it's like the robots. The robots are like horrific. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Interesting. During my lunch break, I went on live because in regards to that, the Helldivers 2, what's the Killzone crossover content, which a lot of people, had heartburn about, including myself. They listened and they said, you know what, this is cool, this feedback, and maybe this is a little bit too much. So here's what we're going to do. We're not just lowering the price. We're giving it to you. Well, I mean, they didn't lower the price, but they're like, we're not just going to lower the price or anything like that. We're going to give it to you, give you portions of it for free. So that's cool. So I went online to check and see if any of it was free. At the time that I logged on, it wasn't free, but I think that's cool. Cold Blood, I know you looked at this differently because stuff is earned. My thoughts was originally, I didn't like that altogether was $40, but then I had to think about it after this announcement today, and me and you talked about Stellar Blade. Like, what people got to remember, and then you can give your take on it too. What people got to remember is that these are crossover licenses. So this isn't just Arrowhead designing an asset. They have to go to the license owner and say, hey, look, we would like to use the imagery that you own on an asset that we want to put in our game. And then they got to say fine. And normally when they say fine, they say, okay, this is how much it's going to cost to lease said asset. Now, I know a lot of people are looking at this and they're like, well, this is this is all Sony property or whatever, Sony IP, so they should let it go. That's not how it works. Whenever you're leasing IP, even if it's within the same company, these are still separate interests, and there could be bloat to the transaction. So I had to pull back a little bit and think about that. But I think it's cool that they're doing this. Cold Blood, just so people are aware what your position is on this. I mean, what did you think about the controversy overall, and what do you think about the remedy of them making some of the content free for some time?
So, who in chat got his pants wet because of this?
Who did?
No, I'm asking them who actually got their pants wet after hearing this, because you gotta be some special type of snowflake if you found that to be an issue. If you a Helldivers player, you should not have an issue with that. Only dudes that don't play the game have an issue with that. Why? Because they don't understand that you can just earn that shit in game. You do not have to pay nothing. That is why I'm like, bruh. So y'all complaining about grinding for something? Is that it? Well, I got most of the shit without even doing anything, so hey. I'm cool. And now that they gave you the second half for free, stop. Just stop. You got something for free out of a fucking live service game. Ain't not many what do you call it, live service game gonna do that. So I don't know why in the fuck we even outraged at all. Because I thought Helldivers is dead. So why is it not dead now all of a sudden? And everybody complaining. Explain that, Morris.
Oh, well, I mean, here's what I will say. People that were playing the game, I think they thought it would be part of the war bond or something like that. And yes, you can grind.
No. Look. I agree it should have been a war bond. Absolutely. I'm not saying it should not be a war bond.
Mm-hmm.
But one that is still paid with super credits, not with something else.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, Arrowhead has every right to be, to want to be supported by gamers. I mean, what happened to that actually? Everybody was like, "Well, we love you, Arrowhead. We want to support you." As soon as they come out with something that has a time limit on it and you have to pay for it, oh no, that is anti-consumer. Fuck you, we're not supporting you. Like, what? What happened to all the love for Arrowhead?
Yeah, I can't explain to people that that don't understand how the game works and didn't realize that the stuff was earnable. I think the large...
And bro, still to this day on Twitter, some of these motherfuckers tell you, "Oh, you have to pay for everything." I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? No, you have to grind for almost everything. Yes, absolutely. That's what a fucking live service is, unfortunately. But goddamn, do I hate these dudes that are just misinforming people, and these misinformed people misinform even more people, and everybody gets outraged for almost no fucking reason whatsoever. Why do I say almost? Because in my opinion, yes, it should have been in a war bond that you can earn whenever you want. Not what do you call it? Not something that you have to pay extra with super credits.
Mm-hmm.
And it being on a fucking timer.
Yeah.
That is the only part where I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, if you just mentioned the timer part, sure, okay. I'm not a fan of that either.
Mm-hmm.
But telling me that Arrowhead has no right to do so, when they clearly told everybody they are ready now to fucking make money with this game. I don't know, bro. I mean, that to me, that is just a thing that should have happened way sooner than it did. So, in my opinion, Arrowhead, head off to them to keep it for that long without any extra shit.
Yeah, if I was to explain, like you said, explain what what's going on here, I think you got to break this up into two buckets. You got to break it up in bucket number one is the people that just complain because they want to hate. Well, no, you could break it up into three buckets. I think you can break it up into
those that just complain and don't play the game at all, or don't even plan to play the game. Fuck off. Why are you complaining? What is the purpose of that? What are you gaining?
I was just trying to I was just trying to explain like how you asked me, brother. That's all I was doing. I'm not advocating for anybody. Like I said, I just, in second thought, now I get why it was so high. But if I'm trying to explain it, there's three people, and I think the people, the only legitimate out of the three buckets were the people that were like, hold on, this costs that much and it's timed. Like, what the fuck? I get those people, but in thinking about it, like even the price shouldn't even be an issue. But I do agree that you have a lot of people. If I'm explaining it, I think you do have most of the people that were complaining that just were complaining off a knee-jerk reaction. They don't even play the game, like you said. And then secondly, you have people that just are entitled and they wanted it for free. Oh.
Actually, Moss, yes, I feel entitled to the Nier DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my opinion, the deluxe edition of Stellar Blade was not really the money's worth. So if they put the Nier DLC, at least for the deluxe edition owners, for free, yeah, I would have said, hey, that's a great move.
That would have been cool, but that ain't happening.
Yeah,
I
know. And
yeah.
I'm like, yo, you're a $70 game. Now you want even more money? Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, not happening.
Yeah, I think Helldivers and I will say with them, with anybody that does crossover stuff, nobody's agreeing to it and saying, oh yeah, you can. I think Sony probably stepped in here and made this free for a limited period of time. And thankfully, both the IP of both involved are owned by Sony. But in a situation like Nier, I think it was.
Well, yeah, they asked. No, they said it. They asked Guerrilla, and Guerrilla agreed to put the second half of it for free.
Oh yeah. I know that they probably talked together, but I'm pretty sure that somebody from PlayStation was in that room too, because you don't see this. And I'm not saying Guerrilla was like, no, we don't want to do this, but PlayStation was probably like, yeah, do you guys have a solution on this yet? And they're like, yeah, we're talking, like, you know what, that sounds good. Let's do this, and then what we'll do, Guerrilla, is we'll eat the charge on that. We'll eat that. Yeah, go ahead and do that. I'm pretty sure a Sony rep was in the room too, helping to push this along. Not saying that they would have never gotten here, but yeah. That I think that's what helped push this along too, to where with Nier Automata and Stellar Blade, no, like dude, somebody gonna make some money. That's what that was all about. And I wonder how successful that was. You know what I mean? I don't know. But people.
Hey, Arrowhead told y'all next time it ain't happening like this. So.
Oh yeah.
Chill.
Yeah. No, I get it. They're right. Because this stuff ain't cheap. And yeah, to your point, you will hear slogans like support the devs. People only use that slogan to argue against somebody else. They don't really, they don't mean it. They don't. Well, you know, we mean it, but they don't mean it. Because if they meant it, they would realize that this stuff just can't be free. It can't. When you're doing cross licensing, it's impossible, and it's always going to be a cash exchange involved. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the point why that's the reason why they're doing it. They're doing it because, all right, we got an initiative that makes some more money off of this, and people may not like to hear this, but you're going to see more and more things like this because games ain't cheap and to make. And if we're being honest, you look at inflation and costs. Games technically should be more than $70. But they're not. And I'm not saying I'm not arguing for them to be more than $70. You know, what AAA games should be. But if they were, they would be justified in the inflation. The reason that they're not is cool, but they're going to find other ways to make up that money. Game development is not getting cheaper. And it is what it is. So when you see these licenses, the first thing you should say is, cash grab. You know what I mean? And if the people that want to do this are okay with it, then let them do it. But it's supposed to be enticing. You know? They're not going to sit there and pay for marketing rights for something that people are going to look at and say, oh, I don't want that. They're going to pay for marketing rights or licensing of something that people are really going to want. Nier Automata skins for what's it called in Helldivers. I mean in Killzone skins too. That was smart of them, and I don't blame them for, like you said, saying we ain't doing this no more. You know. So.
Yeah, I mean they literally told you they were not ready for the amount of people that they got.
Mm-hmm.
But now that they are, that's now a thing. They want money.
Yeah.
More money than they got from just getting the $40 from you, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But they still give you the option to earn it if you want to.
It. Yep.
But almost everybody forgets about that.
Well, to your point, I don't think people forgot about it. I think that just exposed that 70% of the people that were bitching about this don't play the game. And that's the unfortunate circumstance of the internet. I looked at that and I said, hold on, $40 to get all this stuff? And then the time period, I hate that time period shit. Like, I'm extra sensitive because, like, we got this cool ass opening segments on the PlayStation 5 that's timed. You know what I mean? Like, this time. Now, and what's even cool about what Arrowhead is doing is they're like, look, this is only limited time. We're going to give you this stuff for free, from what I understand. And we are looking to making this stuff permanently available for you to purchase. But then you got to remember, if they're going to do this permanently, the shit might go up. Why might it go up? Because that's another fee that they got to give Gorilla. So we just got to be cognizant of that. This is not a charity. This is a business. You know, as much as, you know, we want shit for free, I do think something should naturally be free, should be part of the package. I'm not saying they should nickel and dime us, But there are just some things that are just too expensive that there's going to have to be a charge to it. Or if these smaller companies eat it, you know, they're going to fail. And then you don't get another game from them. And I do want to see Stellar Blade 2.
Moss, the only people that should get any criticism right now is Guerrilla themselves. Like, yo, you want money from the Killzone IP, then make a fucking Killzone. Like, what are you doing? Only doing Horizon ain't gonna be enough now. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I feel differently about that one. I just yeah. You license your IP, you pay for it. People pay for it, or you set a precedent where. Yeah, you start setting a nasty precedent to where somebody else may want to use it, and then with a lot of these frivolous lawsuits out there, I don't like the price that they're charging for this, and then they charge this company for free. They did it for them for free, so they don't have. Nah, yeah, you got to charge. The world is fucked up like that. We're living in a world where Google is being sued because they won't let Microsoft use their store. and Microsoft is winning. That's just how crazy lawsuit these businesses are. It's a shame. And we got to suffer because of it, but it's a shame. Well, we only suffer because we're not versed well enough with what's going on. So these people do it right in front of our noses, but still. We still got to suffer because of the greediness of these companies. So yeah, they give them a free ride. Someone else comes in and gives them a price of their own property. And believe you me, they can go to somewhere like they can go to some company or some place where it's heavily litigious. The United States is one of them, and actually sue because of the price that they want for their own property. It's just fucking ridiculous. But unfortunately, it's the world that we live in. This is an Xbox ad analysis rebuttal. Yeah. So if you hear me talking, that's because I created a video earlier on my lunch break about this is an Xbox, and there's this dude out there, Cold Blood. Did you see that where the dude was like, "This is a perfect example of why the Xbox ad. This is an Xbox. It's perfect." Hold on, did you get a chance to see that shit?
What?
Yeah, dude. Like, I'm not gonna play the video. Let me see if I can find it. I'm not gonna play the video because I don't. People are goofy, and somebody would probably say, "Oh, you played my video. We want to." Shout out to shout out to Carlos Martin for the follow. We appreciate that. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes right here. So I'm gonna put it on the screen for y'all to see. I'm not gonna play the video because, again, people are weird. Like, people are weird. They're mad that Xbox is losing. And this guy's name is Deadly Headley. Like, what happened was, he put this video out here, and Ryan McCaffrey saw it. Ryan McCaffrey tweeted about it. And Ryan McCaffrey was like, "Oh my God, this video is excellent. It tells you about why the Xbox ad campaign is actually phenomenal," right? And this Deadly Headley dude, he's a marketing person. He does marketing somewhere. So he talks about different aspects of the video and, how it jives with what marketing people do in other businesses and why it's almost perfect, right? So I'm not a marketing person per se, but I did a lot of business with a Fortune 500 marketing team. So I feel like I have enough understanding of marketing, not a big but enough because I had to actually go clean up our marketing team's mess one day. after they promised or they said that we could do something that we couldn't do, and we almost lost essential business that would have been fucking embarrassing. It would have been so embarrassing, it would have made headlines. So I had to grab a couple of our tech people. We went out there and we had to win the business back from these motherfuckers, from the marketing team that over exaggerated what we could do. And I explained in the video that you guys will be able to see after Cobla and I get done. This isn't a great marketing campaign. This is a bad one, actually. Because even though it checks the boxes that this guy's talking about as far as what you want to do in a marketing campaign, there are two things that a lot of marketing people don't pay attention to that can actually put a company in a bad spot if you don't have a good marketing company. Like if they're just looking at the things that they care about and don't look at what the company's capabilities are, they can really make things worse. So I talk about product plausibility and reputational risk. Like he's throwing around a whole bunch of big words like mental availability or whatever. Fuck that. In my video, I tell you what's important to you. Fuck the marketing teams. I tell you what's important to you, the consumer. Product plausibility, meaning, can this shit do what you're saying? And then B, reputational risk. Okay, you told me this shit could do this, and it can't, or it won't be able to do this for a while. How bad is this going to make the brand look? We talk about that in my video breakdown, so definitely check that out after the show. It should direct you directly, and I'm actually just putting the title up right now. But I don't. Cold Blood, did you get a chance to see that tweet from Ryan McCaffrey or see this dumbass video at all?
No.
Well, you might be lucky. You might be lucky. It's like these dudes don't stop, man. Like they don't know when to say, okay, shit's fucked up now. How can we influence it to be better? They just keep doubling down. That's the sad thing about if you're an Xbox enthusiast, I feel sad for you. If you're an Xbox enthusiast and you're just trying to find out what's going on with your favorite product, I feel bad for you because it's like a double-edged sword where, okay, there's us. Well, I wouldn't put us in the same category. No. Because we talk shit about Xbox. And yes, we will kick Phil's ribs in. But we go in very, very detailed reasons why. We don't just say shit. We give you very detailed reasons why. And we show you where we saw this coming down the pike and why, right? Where a lot of people will just say, Xbox sucks, Xbox sucks, Xbox sucks. They don't give you a reason. We don't do that here. But for the most part, for the people that like just resign to Xbox sucks, that's what you're getting 99% of the time. Xbox sucks, Xbox sucks, Xbox sucks. Even though, they're predicting rightfully so the brand failing, it's a lot of it. It's too much of, just smacking you across the mouth and shit. Like they're getting off on it, right? So there's that side to where even if you did want to get some truth about your platform, it's still your favorite platform. So therefore you might not be so easygoing about some of the rhetoric, some of the more slap you in the mouth rhetoric. But then on the flip side, you can't go back to the old sources that told you there was going to be 40 frame deltas, right? And that was, sitting there making MTV music videos, pretty much singing Phil Spencer when ABK got bought and was telling you that it's over. Or the same people like Broomstick that is. Hold on, let me play this first. I gotta play this for you, Cole. I don't know if you saw this shit. This shit is fucking hilarious. Hold on one second. Where's my boy at? Here he goes. My boy, my man. We gotta see if Jamie Zach will want to come on the show one day. We'll see. There's two videos I want to play. But here goes the first one, Cold Blood, from your favorite broomstick. Let's put this up here. Like, you guys can't listen to this anymore, right? If your IQ's over 5, you can't listen to this. Hold on, here we go. Let me play the music.
No, I know that this aggravates you, especially when it comes to the Xbox marketing. We're going to get into, because the numbers came out. Matt Piscatella does what he does. And Xbox was down 28% in console sales. Sony was up. They were number 1. Xbox was number 3. Not a surprise. If they would have bundled Call of Duty or at least Game Pass with the console for $200, they would have won NPDs. No, I know that this aggravates you, especially when it comes to the Xbox marketing. I'm gonna play it again. So to get into, because the numbers came out. Matt Piscatella does what he does. And Xbox was down 28% in console sales. Sony was up. They were number 1. Xbox was number 3. Not a surprise. If they would have bundled Call of Duty or at least Game Pass with the console for $200, they would have won NPDs. No, I know.
Cold Blood, I don't know if you caught wind of that. Did you catch wind of that from your
Yeah, I saw the like, oh god.
Bro.
Does he even understand that the Series S was $150 at one point?
Yeah. Yeah.
And nobody gave a fuck. What makes him believe that at $200 anybody gonna give a shit? Or is he implying the Series X is only worth $200? Because if that is the case, bruh. Yeah, okay. It's better to just close up the fucking shop.
Yeah,
bro. Holy shit.
Oh god. Yeah, they're a comical bunch. I think at this point, they're just riding a wave of ridiculousness. They know that they're shit. They know they're fucking crazy. They know they're getting clipped, and they think it's funny, or not funny, but they think it's fruitful to do this. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to even utter it, whether you're grifting or you're not. It's stupid. It's just stupid commentary, and you can't be taken. You know what I mean? Not at all. There's one more clip though that Jamie Zach put out there, so you must have saw this one too, where I do want to comment on this. Like, this is somewhat, it's not political, but it's somewhat outside of gaming. But I really do think it's getting to a point of absurdity. Let's see. There we go. Take you there for the fact. Okay. So here goes another one, Cold Blood, where Jamie Zach took a clip. And I don't understand what the impetus was for this even to be said. But apparently your favorite guy, the Chaos Lounge, had King David, and he had Paris Lily on there. And now Paris Lily said he's putting hands. He's gonna put hands on people. Let's listen to this. Because I got to speak to this.
He said games and exclusivity will be determined on a case-by-case basis. Some games will be going, some games won't be going.
I would not hold. I'm gonna tell you right now. Do not think that there's going to still be exclusive games. Don't think that Avowed's not going to show up on PlayStation at some
giving
point.
That clear information.
No. I understand that.
The messaging is still mixed.
I get that. But I'm telling you what the reality of it is. If you think Master Chief isn't showing up on PlayStation one day, you're fooling yourself. It's going to happen. Invite King Thrash. No, you don't. Don't do that.
No.
I'll probably have to do. I'm probably going to do his. He's me and him talking about.
No, and I'll just say this in public, and people can clip it because I don't care. I have no respect for him because I have never spoken to that guy in my life.
Right.
And some of the stuff he said about me, I'm like, really? You know what I mean? So it's like I don't have time or respect for people like that because it's like you don't know me and don't make assumptions about me. That's why one of his other cohorts, I might have to put hands on him if I ever see him in person because don't talk crazy about me. I think people what happens is people mistake kindness for weakness when it comes to that stuff. They're like, oh, he's a nice guy. I can say any crazy thing I want because it's the internet. No, you don't. Don't do that.
All right. I don't know. Cold blood. But I mean, before I go, do you even care to comment on that? Or do you have any thoughts on that? On Paris now threatening, I guess, members of the round table to put hands on them or whatever.
I mean, it's very predictable.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, what do you mean what Fresh said ain't true about you? Like, actually, what exactly did he say that was not true? Because I can remember nothing wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like he's on your ass daily. He mostly is on Alex's ass daily. And he has an obsession with Digital Foundry.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
with your ass, very rarely.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
I'll say this. Yeah, he I know he has squabbles elsewhere about other things and whatever. I won't speak to that because I don't even care about that really. Here's what I will say. Because I've been on King Thrash's podcast before when I was in Xbot, and the round table, came at me to, do they shit, they talk they shit. And it's just like being on Z's podcast where people gonna talk they shit. And here's what I will tell. This is my suggestion to Paris. You can't dip your pool in the foot of the crumb side. In Paris, you have done that. Like, nothing against, I don't even know. I don't have any problems with Uni. You know what I'm saying? I haven't always agreed with everything he said, but I have no problem with Uni. I was on what's it called with Uni briefly, me, him, and J-Dub, where I was trying to break down to him why Xbox was fucking up and my business experience on, the analytics about it. And I think Nib hopped on too. Yeah, you dealing with Uni, he's part of the crumb side. So you're stepping out of your high horse gamer tag radio, everybody's super cordial space, and you're getting into Fight Club down here. So, down here in Fight Club, motherfuckers talk shit. They do. Hell, the co-hosts here talk shit on me, right? It's par for the course. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And we can't disperse this to, oh, this is internet, and people think they're tough on the internet. It's just, I grew up different too, where a lot of this shit doesn't bother me. Now, there was one podcast I was on where, dude was, and I knew it was real after the fact that he didn't even know me, but he hated me for some reason for something as stupid as where I decided to game, and he just got fully disrespectful. Now that's different. But where motherfuckers are talking shit and poking fun and all that other stuff, you can't take that seriously if you decide to get on this end of the pool. And that's what you decided to do. You decided to embrace elements of the crumb side, and you know, when you do that, there's crumb side rules. You know, I decided to get in, like a prime example. I decided to get in through the crumb side. Then I started making Stadia content where there's that group, they are crumb side adverse. They can be sensitive, right? I can no longer sit there and so when Stadia died, for instance, I can no longer sit there and say, well, hold on, I don't make crumb side content. No. The crumb side motherfuckers knew me. They were like, MM2K, where you at? I couldn't, you know, you can't, wow, that's just not part of my nature, but even if I wanted to, you can't run and hide. Those are the rules of the game. You got to take your lumps. Those are the rules of the game. Now, you can do one or two things. This is what I've learned in the crumb side. You can do one or two things. If they talking shit on you, you can go back talk shit on them. Or don't play the victim. Just get online with them and say, bro, let's have a conversation. Let me see what, you know, let's test your gaming. Because this is all about gaming. And this is something we used to tell D-Batch all the time, and he's finally learning. Like when people talk shit on you, they're just trying to belittle you because of the point that you're making. It's not really even about you. It's just, you know, all the shit that comes with the point that you made, people trying to discredit you or people trying to knock you down a peg or whatever, and you just got to be ready for it. So if you want to sit here and swim in this crumb side terrain, which you've done plenty of times, you got on the calls with Uni and you've been on this podcast and been on that podcast where it's crumb side territory, that's going to come with it. Threatening to put hands, or some of the people that have pulled out weapons live on air. And this is another thing I'm going to tell you too. All this extreme behavior where people like, you know, I want to meet up. I want to fuck, except for Jack Move Johnny's infamous, I'm going to take that 2-hour road trip. Opposite of that, the overwhelming majority of these breakdowns come from the pro Xbox side. So Paris, you're not helping that cause. Look, man, for this one, now that other beef that you got, I'm not going to speak about that one. I'm going to talk about this one because I know Thrash personally. Thrash will talk shit. He will talk shit to his mammy. He will talk shit to anybody. This is who he is. It's like Cold Blood said. I mean, he may have put a spin on it, you know what I'm saying, and hit you with a kidney shot or something. But I don't think that anything that Thrash has said was that, was like cut that deep. Unless you said something to him. Like if you say something to him that cuts deep, he's going to come back at you. So if you said something about him or something to him, he's going to come back at you. I don't think that I don't think it's that serious for you to, again, talk about putting hands on him, or I don't know if he's referring to sick humor. I don't know who he's talking about. I just don't think it's par for the course, especially from someone who has had some crazy shit said to me, about me or whatever. It is what it is. Just close. If that's the case, then you got to close the door to the side, which is hard to do because once you get in here, you're in here for good. Like the crumb side claims you for good. And again, this is what happens when you guys see something that could get you more clicks and get you more ad revenue, and you want to come take that risk. You want to go move the cube for my fans of Hellraiser. You want to move that cube? Pinhead's going to pop up, but he don't go away till you solve the puzzle. You ain't solved it yet, Pierce. You can't touch this cube over here saying, "Ooh, maybe I can get something out of this." Trying to get more trying to ride that wave of crazy Xbox enthusiasm, because that's the only reason. Because before, Paris, like, well, let's be real, you wouldn't dare entertain talking to anybody on this side of the spectrum. You wouldn't dare entertain it. You turned your nose at it. But now, because the crumb side has been the pusher of the wave of all this Xbox fanboy enthusiasm and console war talk that has taken over YouTube, you wanted to be part of the wave. That comes with the territory, man. So I don't think Thrash said anything. Now you can sit there and say, well, you don't get to tell me what offends me, whatever. Well, here's what I can tell you. Put your foot in this pool. This is what you're likely going to get. So you either shut off that side that's saying things that you don't like, or deal with it. Just like the rest of us. Deal with it. This just doesn't, I think it's just, it doesn't do anything for anybody. If anything, it just makes things look pathetic and petty. You know what I mean? So, let's see here what the chat's saying, and then we'll move on. We got Michael Morden in the house. He says, it seems like they helped each other out to me. Cold Blood has been playing Lego Horizon since Juice, trying to get the platinum. YouTube is not real life. Full of fake gamers, just loud and wrong all the time. Social Joint says, what deluxe version is worth its price if it don't come with a toy or DLC? I agree with Cold on that, says Old Man Guru Gaming. Deluxe purchasers got no bonus at all. Great what Shift Up has done, but we didn't benefit from paying extra. When are you going to talk about the East versus West dev battle coming up? Social Joins, you're new to the channel. I've talked about it. We've actually had King Thrash on here. So look on our page where it's called Lobby Talk. King Thrash actually gave us excerpts of the East versus West battle before he even gave it to y'all. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, I think you're new to the channel, Social Joins. Yeah, check that out. Yeah, we had King Thrash on here for one of our Lobby Talk interviews. But I've already talked about it. Now there hasn't been a new revelations except for Kadokawa, because I think that's why Sony did what they did with Kadokawa. Because when it comes to East versus West, the cost of the yen has a lot to do with it. Like I think you see Nissan and Honda. They're now going to join forces. Like the cost of the yen actually being raised for the first time in 30 years has had a significant effect on Japanese companies. And they understand that if it works out the way that the Japanese security firms wanted to work, it's going to make Japan a powerhouse again more sustainably. And that feeds this whole East versus West narrative, where you might see Japan, not China, but Japan, the centrifuge of that. So this was a power play, but they understand there's going to be a lot of heartache involved. So you see companies like Honda and Nissan wanting to join forces. You have a lot of companies that are like dealing with this heartburn, severe heartburn, hopefully for the betterment of Japan. And as far as East versus West is concerned, yeah, I mean, you've seen semiconductor companies, move in a funny way where they want to, they want to service the East. All the games now that are being promoted, they're, a lot of them are coming from the East. Yeah, there's a China Joy event from the East. And then Japan's still a very nativist country when it comes to business. So yeah, the whole Kadokawa thing, I think Sony realized, instead of just trying to buy this out, let's just, especially with the yen the way that it is and things being crazy, maybe it isn't the best thing for them to do with their money. Let's just get a majority stake, stop the takeover, and let's benefit with cross-pollinating some IP. Now, what does that mean? We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, East versus West, man. Yeah, we had King Thrash on here. How much would licensing cost from a sister company under the same IP ownership since Sony owns both IPs? Look, Guerrilla's an independent company. I mean, they're an independent entity. So they set the IP whatever they want to. Now, can Sony override it? Yeah, they definitely can. But again, old game guru, you didn't start setting precedents to where, okay, somebody else wants to license the IP and you give them a bloated price, or you charge them where you didn't charge someone else just because they have the same parent company. You are still setting a legal precedence, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not. You're still setting a legal precedence that could give you some heartburn in court. So that's why you still got to charge. You still got to do it. Just tuning in. Did y'all talk about NPD Circana yet? No, we did not. We haven't touched on NPD or Circana. Cree, let me know. Was there a specific point of it? I mean, I don't know, Cold Blood. I didn't see anything from, I could pull it up real quick but I don't see anything on the NPD Circana thing that was any surprise. That's why we didn't cover it. I was thinking about doing a video, but then I was like on it, but I was like, unless you want to laugh at the bots, unless there's something I'm missing, Free. But yeah, unless you're laughing at the bots, let me go to Matt Piscatella. Doesn't let me. Is there not a search? Okay. Let's see. There's not a search unless you've joined. So let me do this. Let me go to Blue Sky down here. Yeah. Unless you, from anything that I could see, bro, unless you just want to laugh at the bots, I didn't particularly see anything that was important out of the NPD, but I could be wrong. There could be something that I missed. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. So here goes the November totals from NPD. Oh, Jonathan is calling you out, Cold Blood. He said, where the fuck is Cold Blood at? It's called, oh, there goes Thrash. Hey, Thrash. I don't know. Are you home? Do you want to hop in? Or if you're busy, bro, don't worry about it. And we do need to do another interview. This time we're going to do it live. Because I want to talk to you about this East versus West thing. This whole Kadokawa. I miss Thrash in the chat. Why ain't y'all motherfuckers say something? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Thrash. If you want to hop in and explain your part, I don't understand. Like, I remember when I was on when I came on the round table, and I can't remember who it was. There was so many motherfuckers there. I don't remember who it was, but bro, he kept calling me Mighty Mouse, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the vibe. That's just what it is. It's not. It's, like, I grew up with uncles. All we did was rip on each other, man. And some people ain't from that. They're like, if you don't know me, don't. But again, you do that, but then you want to be in on the crumb side of it. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. I don't know why that's the response. We got to put hands on people. I don't even know what you could have said to where he wanted to put hands on you. He says, "Damn, I dropped in at the right time. Hey, King, what's up?" Yeah. I don't know. To me, it's just. To me, it was unnecessary. To me, it's unnecessary. It's like, okay, now that you've been more vocal in crumb side settings, and you're getting the response of that, and you're paying more attention to crumb side entities. Now it's like, okay, if we come, on site type stuff, like, stop it. Bro, in doing this shit, excuse me, I've had motherfuckers actually try to report, get our business, get my channel reported to the FBI, like literally. They've done shadow ban and shit. I've had so much shady shit happen from creators, and I know who they are. They don't even know that I know who they are. So one in particular knows that I know about some of the stuff that they done, because I had to confront them because they were journeying down the path that I'm like, I don't even want to deal with the ramifications if they touch the wrong entity and spark the wrong entity. So I had to reach out to them, and then we got that settled. You know what I'm saying? But there were a lot of other goofy motherfuckers that did like crazy shit like that. If I see them, I see them. I don't care. If I see them, I see them. Like, walk right by them, they don't exist. I've literally had motherfuckers try to incite government intervention into what I'm doing because of stuff that I'm saying on YouTube about a gaming platform. Now, that technically could be, motherfucker, you trying to sick the feds on me. It's on site. I get that. Somebody tell a joke about you or maybe say something about you. I don't know what apparently was said. But I doubt it was anything that requires that type of response. And let me be honest with you, Paris. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. We could do enough digging on your internet usage and your Twitter and your comments where you've demagogued people that didn't agree with you and made certain assertions and assumptions about them. I've been a victim of it. Where you try to lump in my reasoning for liking XYZ or not agreeing with you. So for you to sit there on the show and say, well, look, I don't like this dude and I want to put hands on his co-host. And the reason why I don't like this dude is because I don't like when people make assumptions about me and they don't know me. Bro, that was what Paris is all about. Oh, these people that feel like this way, they were just this. I've been a victim of it too. I've never said when I see Paris, it's on site. It don't even have to go there. What is this even about? To me, I just I don't know. Maybe maybe I saw it at the right time where I felt like talking about it. I have no idea what's going on. Hopefully there's a conversation had. Whatever. But here's my problem. If we start showing up to video game events and people are on site, that's just not good. To me, that's stupid. If I end up going to a video game event and I show up there and then someone's upset about me and something that I said on the internet and they want to be on site, I'm going to tell y'all this right now. I play a role on TV or YouTube, whatever the fuck you want to call this. I'm not no punk motherfucker. Please do not approach me on some bullshit because of something I said on YouTube. You approach me because of something that I said on YouTube, about something goofy offset about a video game, you gonna get kicked out. So you getting carried out, I'm getting kicked out. And I don't want that. See, it gets stupid like that. See, people want to say this shit online. Just stop it. And two, don't tell people, and if you really about that, don't tell people that it's on site. Because now everybody gonna be looking. And then you're going to set off alarm bells. This is why I really don't like this. You're going to set off alarm bells, and now people are going to be like, oh, well, now something's going to happen with this one and that one. And, and oh, now do we have to close down these shows? Like, let's not do this. If you're really about that, if it's on site, you don't pronounce that. You just say to yourself, it's on site. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just, y'all go to a gaming event and y'all just leave each other alone. Now, it's one thing if you go to a gaming event and someone's antagonizing you and threatening you there, then, you got to do what you got to do. But if y'all go to a gaming event, if y'all step into an Applebee's, or that's something different, which I still think it's goofy. But if y'all step into an Applebee's or y'all come across each other at Geauga Lake, that's different. But a lot of these places where y'all gonna cross paths is at a gaming event. It's gonna be on site at a gaming event. Well, you gotta put hands on somebody at a gaming event and ruin it for everybody. That's just distasteful. I mean, I don't know the dude like that. And he might want to do that, but why would that even be your mentality? Let's just say, I'm not doubting anything. I don't know this dude. I'm just going to say, if that is going to be your approach, then don't come to no more gaming sites. Because that's the last thing we need, is for you to ruin it for everybody else. And I'm letting you know, not you, Pierce, because we ain't got no beef. I'm not even gonna play. I don't even play these games. There are some people out there that when you tell them that, like King Thrash is not gonna say, "Oh well, then I guess I can't go to E3." I know that about Thrash. He's not gonna. Oh well, I guess I can't come. I want to keep the peace. He's gonna be like, all right, bad. Not saying that he's looking for trouble, but you're not going to disrupt what he does. But I'm letting anybody know that feels some type of way. If you see me just go about your way, I'll go about my way. We can have a conversation about it. But if it's like it's on site or you want to put, this is a shtick for TV or a shtick for YouTube. If you try anything, we're both going to be in a bad situation because I'm going to get kicked out. You're going to get carried out. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So, where can I? Hey, yo, Cold Blood, what did you do to Sean, bro? Like, bro is mad. He's fuming.
Good. No, good that he's mad.
What did you do to Sean? Sean is like, she says, where can I beat your ass then? Oh shit.
I don't know what I did. Just telling the truth as always.
Oh man, bro, he's mad as hell, man. Yeah, he said, what the fuck over that? Yo, bro is on it. Xbox down 42%, Switch passes piece to PlayStation 2. Yeah, I mean, those are cool things, Creed. Those are cool things. Are we surprised by any of that, though? Are we surprised by any of that? If anything, excuse me. Are we surprised by any of that? I think the most telling thing is the drop in Xbox sales. I mean, we're not surprised that Xbox still dropped in sales, but come on. Call of Duty Game Pass, you still dropped in sales. And remember when everybody said, oh, you know, even if it's not exclusive, remember that, Cold Blood? Even if it's not exclusive, Call of Duty on Game Pass is going to be, oh man, I'm going to give up my whole library of Returnal, God of War, Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, GTA, Horizon. I'm going to give up my whole library of that. And I'm going to get Call of Duty over here because it's on Game Pass, where instead of just buying it outright for $70, I got to pay $240 a year for it. What are we doing here?
Being absolute dumbasses. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid. So yeah, I'm not surprised. I just think that oh man, he's mad. Bro is mad. You done pissed him off. Oh, y'all must have been going at it in the DM about this skids. That's what y'all was going at it about. I didn't get a chance to see. Bros, man, he coming for you, Cold Blood. God damn. We got call security. Now Cold Blood, now we can't go. We was going to the next E3. Now we can't go.
Fuck all this Merry Christmas and shit, bro. We have walls here, bro.
Damn, y'all just fucked up. Me and Cold Blood was coming to the next E3. Oh well. He said, nobody worried about Cap Blood and his $40 skins pack. God damn. Damn, Sean is on a rampage, bro. What we do to Sean? Okay, let's talk about this Kadokawa, man. So Kadokawa, here, I had the link. I promise. What is it? I had the link. Okay, here it goes right here. So this is coming from Gamatsu. And the link reads as follows. To Sony Corporation and Kadokawa Corporation to form a strategic and capital business alliance. Sony Corporation Group has signed a strategic capital and business alliance agreement with Kadokawa Corporation to conduct a third-party allotment on January 7, 2025. Hold on one second. Hold on. New shares of Kadokawa Corporation for approximately 50 billion yen, 320 million USD. Shout out to for the new donation. Is that the one from? He says Cap Blood now. Stop it. He said Cap Blood and I was at the last Diddy party. Oh man. Hey, yo, this dude is. We gonna have to sue this dude, man. He's spreading slander, man.
Brother, my lawyer is ready to go. Just saying.
Oh man, Charlatan done hired Buzzlebee.
Those are some accusations I cannot tolerate.
Oh man, Sean done hired Buzzlebee. Golly, what are you doing up here, man? Come on, man.
I didn't do shit, bro. He started talking crazy.
You telling us not to come to the next E3? He said you gonna grab you a lawn chair and you're gonna sit out there right now, wait for us to meet us at the next E3?
No, the next Xbox Fan Fest, bro.
Oh yeah, he said Sean talking about you gonna meet us at Fan Fest, whoop our ass with some. He gonna strangle us with some Xbox pajamas. God damn.
Yeah, bro.
Sean's cutting up, bro. You gonna struggle us with some Xbox pajamas and bash our heads in with the toaster. Now we at the party with Diddy. Golly, bro. What you doing, man? Going on, Sean? You must have. Yeah, I'm going to look at that thread. You must have pissed him off. I didn't get a chance to look at it. I was busy at work. Oh, but you must have pissed him off in there, bro. He came here looking for blood. Says including shares it previously acquired in February 2021. Sony Corporation does not plan to acquire additional Kadokawa Corporation shares. Kadokawa and Sony historically have collaborated on various projects, and through this capital and business alliance intend to further strengthen our collaboration to maximize both companies' intellectual property value globally and facilitate wider and deeper collaboration, such as potential joint investments in the content field, joint discovery of new creators, and joint promotion of further media mixes of both companies' intellectual property. In the future, the two companies plan to discuss specific initiatives for collaboration, such as initiatives to adapt Kadokawa's intellectual property into live action films and TV dramas globally, co-produce anime works, and expand global distribution of Kadokawa's anime works through the Sony Group, further expanding publishing of Kadokawa's games, and develop human resources to promote. So my Xbox brethren, let me say this, because I didn't even catch that part. Hold on one second. Hold on. Because a lot of you came here and you're probably like, what does this mean for gaming? Here's what I will say.
Ignore his crazy ass.
This dude is losing it, bro. Hey, no, man. We gonna have to put hands on you, man. You getting out of control, bro. We gotta put now. I'm like Paris on this one. We gonna put hands on you, Sean. This is getting out of control. Why did this mofo put up here for $2? Baby oil and Series S all night long. Hashtag Phil watched. Oh, hell no. Sean. Yeah, we gonna meet you at E3, bro. We gonna meet you at E3. Yeah, it's gonna have to happen, man. You know, you've gotten out of control, bro. You've gotten out of control. You
once that Diddy party with Jeff, man.
Hey, yeah, Sean. We gonna have to, yeah. We gonna put hands on you. Not that way. We gonna put hands on you though. Ice Cream Gaming cracking up. My Xbox brethren. Here's what I will say. Now, I don't, what the fuck? Hey, bro, Phil Bosch, I don't know what's going on, man. Sean flipping out, man. He losing it.
Bro, he has the master plan to make you gift 5 subs, bro. And talk his shit by doing so.
Yeah. Oh shit, this dude is crazy. Yeah. So he said we was oh man, this dude is crazy. He said we wasn't diving, but it was hell that oh man. So yeah, Kadokawa, they're going to be sitting with Sony. Like they haven't even etched out everything that they're going to do. You understand this? Like pay attention to this last part. Live action films and TV globally, co-produce anime works and expand global distribution of Kadokawa's anime works through the software group, further expand publishing of Kadokawa's games. My Xbox people, I would take a chill pill before y'all start acting like Sean here in the chat and acting all Diddy in the chat, right? And start going crazy. Now, I'm not saying that this is likely going to happen, but this potentially could mean that Sony says, look, we will publish your game, kind of like what they're doing with China Joy right now. For those of you that haven't been paying attention, Sony's working with these Chinese gaming companies that are trying to hit the AAA market, and they're creating long systemic partnerships with them so they can be part of their publishing. And as part of the publishing, they will get the games on PlayStation day and date for console, and they will put them on PC as well. Hey yo, this dude is out of control. Hey bro, hey yo, this dude is out of control, man. Come on, man. Hey yo, Sean, come on, man. What is this dude? He done lost it. Hey yo, hey, take a vacation. We'll take another vacation with the family, man. You gotta get the hell out of here. But PlayStation Cold Blood is this dude is dumb. PlayStation is going to China Joy, and they're like, okay, look, we will publish your games. We'll even publish them for you on PC. But here's the kicker. When it comes to console, you can only be on PlayStation. And we'll handle your publishing. We'll handle your publishing, the marketing, the stuff that comes with the publishing. And these companies in China Joy, they're agreeing to it. So, who's to say? Now, I'm going to say I don't expect this, but who's to say, Cold Blood, that they don't go and say to Kadokawa, look, let us handle your publishing as part of this deal, but no more day and date on Xbox. Now, the reason why I say I don't think that's likely is because they do make some money on Xbox. Is it compared to everywhere else? No. But the Leviathan games are going to sell, like for instance, Grand Theft Auto. Is it going to sell anywhere near as PlayStation? No. Because PlayStation is beating them at least 2-1 in console sales. And even though Xbox is doing this, cloud everywhere, I seriously doubt that day one, especially with PlayStation having the marketing rights. Let's just say if this X Cloud on the Fire TV thing did start blowing up, I heavily doubt that Xbox would, that Take-Two would agree to that because of the marketing with PlayStation. You know what I mean? They're like, I'm pretty sure they would put that in the stipulation. Like, nah, we're not, you guys cannot do anything with Xbox on xCloud. And then the way it works right now, you got to go through xCloud in order to do that. I don't think Take-Two wants to burn that relationship for something that, likely is not going to move the needle unless they make a significant change in how it performs in the cloud. But anyway, PlayStation in all likelihood got that avenue closed off. So the overwhelming majority of Grand Theft Auto 6 will be sold on PlayStation without a shadow of a doubt. Hey, can I buy 10% of this MM2K info wars?
You know what? Now watch FromSoft games Metascore go down like 5 to 6
probably
points.
Yeah, if this happens. Yep. I would agree. If this
Just
happens,
watch.
I would agree. Yep. Yeah, Sony sees because look, Sony is tapped out. No, see, and this is where you got the make of two companies, right? And y'all wonder why are you always kicking Phil's ribs in? You got the make of two companies, right? Company number one says something that is true, that the number of AAA genre-defining console gamers is not growing, right? So company A, Microsoft, looks at that and says, we've got to release day and date on PC. We got to put more of our games in more places day and date. And they're doing so in a way to forsake their current consumer base, right? Even though data shows that that's not the way to success. The way to success is having a strong exclusive marketplace, having a strong marketplace that requires a video gamer to come to that marketplace and indulge in that marketplace in its restricted nature. He said, maybe Elden Ring. Oh my goodness. This dude, he wants all the smoke. He said, maybe Elden Ring will suck less. And can I buy 10% of this? Sure. But here's the problem. With the Microsoft approach, data shows that since they've been day and date everywhere, they've had the least revenue growth out of them, Nintendo, and PlayStation percentage wise. Where that only changed once they got ABK. But off of their business strategy alone of where they're putting games, they had the lowest amount of growth out of the big three. So, because of that, you can look at Microsoft's approach to, again, the flatlining of how many gamers is going to buy these games. You can look at their approach and say that didn't work so well. But then you can look at what Sony did. And Sony said, okay, yeah, the number of our current consumer base, our current demographic, is not growing. You can do what Sony did and say it's a regional thing. Why is it a regional thing? Because in Asia, a lot of these people don't play on console. Maybe like how they used to. Then there's an untapped region, China, that we can exploit. Because now China's trying to get into the AAA gaming market. Hey, bro needs help, man. Yeah, I see what you're doing, man. Y'all gotta excuse my bro. He losing it. We won super chat. Somebody please super chat. Give us a $2 super. Give us some type of super chat. $2 or more, so we ain't gotta see no more of his suspects. Some suspect posts. Help, please, help. Anyway, he said, "Are we comparing growth?" This dude is sick. So Sony just said, well, it's a regional thing. There's no more people playing in these areas. So let's just expand our region. And China's huge. It's humongous. Japan isn't as tapped as it used to be because a lot of them have gone mobile. Korea, all these other places that are now getting into the AAA market. Sony said, let's invest and tap into this. Guess what happened? They are doing better than they have. And even with ABK, Microsoft is still in third place. So whose strategy do you think is working? Fucking Wukong spurred how many PlayStation sales? Wukong. Oh no! We met our goal, but see your goal. We met our goal, but no! All right, let me see something here. Let me go to the. Oh, damn! Hold on. Oh, we got Jonathan with the 20. He says, give them motherfucking memberships away. Merry Christmas, you bum motherfuckers. In the chat, love you. Shout out to Sean. Thank you, Sean, for that. Yep, let's give these super chats. These members away. Here we go. I can find. Hold on. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. Trust me. Trust me. I know how to do this. All right. So now, membership gifting. Okay. And we're gifting 5 right now. So I hope some of you motherfuckers, y'all didn't leave. I hope some of y'all didn't leave. We got Silverback, got one. Skygen got one. Ice Beyond got one. Bulls for Life got one. And Killerix got one. Diddy is wild tonight. Shout out to the 5 gifted. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Well, Asia is mobile, and well, that's why the portal's usage coming. That is true, Social Joints. That is so true. So smart of Sony. Do you see what I'm saying? You see why I tell y'all that Phil Spencer is a failure. Look at what Sony did versus Microsoft. Sony said, okay, the same, 2 different companies, the same problem. It's 2 different companies, the same problem. We are not seeing AAA genre defining growth for our marketplace. One company says, you know what? We're going to transfer non-gamers and try to make them gamers. We're going to put our shit on Fire TVs. There's no data to support that type of conversion. However, Sony just simply says, well, hold on. There's all these developers over here that, you know what I'm saying, are doing a whole bunch of good shit, cool shit. Let's invest in them. Let's help them make money. And let's help them own their craft. And now we got a whole shit stew of exclusive content that we don't have to own. Microsoft has failed because I feel like Microsoft, and I know this from a fact because we deal with Asian companies. And Asian companies, particularly Japan, you know, Chinese companies that have a little bit more integration with their government, they're a tough nut to crack. But Japanese companies are, you know, they're very nativist on who they'll deal with. They will deal with American companies. But in order for you to get Japanese business, they got to see that you're helping out Japan. That's why I say they're very nativist, like their native country. They are looking out for their native country. So you don't just get to get Japanese money without making sure that you're doing something for Japan. That's why in the 360 era, you know, those execs had to go live in Japan. That's why, you know, Phil Harrison had to go live in Japan. Jim Ryan had to go live in Japan. You have to have some type of respect and some type of integration with the culture in order to even be considered. And where Microsoft is fucking up is as far as they want to be this big global company, but they only, you know, they don't want to have to work too hard for your trust. Where if I'm Microsoft and I'm looking at the fact that, hey, outside of our main demographics of business, most motherfuckers don't even fuck with us, particularly in Asia. And Asia is just a huge area. Like, we can't just concede this to Apple. And Apple is an American company. So it's not like that Apple can't crack. I mean that Microsoft couldn't crack those areas. They just didn't feel like they're too arrogant. They didn't feel like they needed to. And especially under Satya, they just don't feel like that they need to. So Apple swoops in. What do you think Apple did? Apple made regional investments into those areas. That's why Apple's predominant throughout those areas. All they got to do is go in there and drop some money in the mother and make investments that are considered crucial to these Asian markets, and they didn't do it. Clearly, Apple did. You don't just put out products and then say, yes, absorb and use this. That's not how this works. Microsoft does that too much. They don't cater their products enough anymore to their demographic. And what Microsoft doesn't understand is that there were dire needs in certain areas, and Microsoft software-wise used to suit those needs. They weren't great at suiting the needs, but they at the time were like the only solution with such a wide footprint that everybody flocked to them. Like Excel and all this, you know what I'm saying? They had such a wide footprint. They would put these solutions out here. They wasn't always perfect. Like for those of my programmers that used to have to use Microsoft Office and Microsoft Access 95 and 97. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. How broken that shit was, right? But it had such a wide footprint that it was just a natural solution for people. That was them servicing a desire, a need, and getting away with a lot of shit because of their wide reach. Gaming is different. Right now, gamers are not saying, you know what? I really need to play on the cloud. And I need to play on the cloud so bad that even if the experience is subpar to my native experience, I'm willing to do that. Gamers are not saying that at mass. Now, there were people like me that were saying, hey, look, I really would like to play my game on the cloud. But even at that, I wasn't just grabbing at the first thing, because if that was the case, I would have never promoted Stadia. I would have promoted GeForce Now. Why would I have promoted GeForce Now? Because it would have just made sense. I knew but the reason why I got into cloud gaming was for two games, Division 2 and Cyberpunk. Those were the two games that pushed me into really looking into cloud gaming. I could have very easily played the GeForce Now versions of Division 2. I could have very easily played the GeForce Now versions of Cyberpunk and just would have been okay with it, because back then GeForce Now was subpar and wasn't as good as what Stadia was able to do. So if it was just, and my former Stadia people that have now, because of attrition and the loss of Stadia, that have now flocked to Xbox, think about that. We used to advocate for Stadia because of how well performant it was over GeForce Now, and now y'all are settling for something lesser performant because it got a wider footprint. The irony of that is crazy, and people over on that side looked at me like, hey, man, you're just trying to do this. No, I didn't change my standards. My standards have not changed. So with that said, if it was just simply about, even for me, just being available in the cloud, I would have never went to Stadia in the first place. GeForce Now been out. GeForce Now was more familiar with me at the time. GeForce Now didn't have all this headwind of negativity coming in its way. And it was determined by then that GeForce Now was getting Division 2 because Ubisoft was supporting it, and GeForce Now was getting fucking Cyberpunk. So if it was all about just simply accessibility with all the pixelation and shit that used to plague GeForce Now, GeForce Now would have been an easy pick, right? But no, people even at that niche level care about performance. Performance has to be at a certain level. And so when it comes to gaming, there are not a rush full of people. There's a niche group, and they're already cloud gamers, but there's not a huge desire in mainstream gaming for people to say, you know what, man, I really wish that I could play cloud gaming, and I wish I could do cloud gaming so much, I'm willing to sacrifice quality to do it just so I can play anywhere. There's not, so the Microsoft approach doesn't work. Because again, Microsoft is not about creating something, a high quality product that works so well that it just blows your mind. No, Microsoft is used to swooping a big time global need, but because they have a footprint, Azure's everywhere, for instance, if it's cloud related, that they could just swoop in, solve the problem, give you something feasible as a solution, and you guys just cling to it because it's just readily available. Gaming is different because nobody is crying out at massive numbers, I need to do this. So again, I'm not saying there's not a need for cloud gaming. I'm not saying that there's not a need or there's not potential for cloud gaming to really tap into the mainstream market, but the way Microsoft likes to do shit, it's not going to work that way. Because if you're going to do something disruptive, you got to make people feel that something that is not a need is now a need. You don't do that at the level that what's it called outputs right now. You got to do it at a GeForce Now, at least a GeForce Now Ultimate level, because that's the ceiling. All right, so now you're doing it at a GeForce Now Ultimate level. That's not enough. How do you increase accessibility? Well, you got to have some entry options that people can trust, that work well for the consumer. And what you have to do, Xbox, your thing is not going to work. What you have to do, and this is why I say that whole ad thing that person says is a near perfect ad is a bunch of Xbox fanboy hyperbole masked behind their understanding and their knowledge of ad stuff. So they use a lot of fancy ad marketing campaign stuff to make it seem like the campaign is great. But if you go to the Xbox site itself, you can't find this is Xbox. I had to go Google the link to the survey to find it. It's not readily available anywhere. This is your big marketing campaign. Anyway, so with that said, you need to up your quality and you need to have the games available on Xbox that are available on the console. You got to have it available on the cloud, or there's no conversation to be had. This is just smoke and mirrors. And I don't praise smoke and mirrors. That's like me praising a luxury car. Oh man, they're going to get the leather seats. Oh man, they're going to get the TV and the headrest, but I buy the car bare bones. So you're going to charge me $20 a month for 50 games and a subpar streaming experience that's not even as good as my native experience. And I'm just supposed to accept that because you said you're going to extend this and add this, that what I want is coming. No, that's not how the mainstream gamer thinks, So what you have to do, Xbox, and this whole campaign was stupid to release in the first place. What you have to do is, the moment you roll something like this is an Xbox Now and you don't need a console, my experience on the cloud, on PC, I should be able to look at that and say, you know what? I don't need a console. When your console gamers can go play on the cloud and say, I don't need, you're right, I don't need a console, then you've done your job. but if not at least half of your console gamers don't say, you know what? This shit is popping and I can access all my games. You know what? I don't need a console. Because you're still going to have some people that are just going to like, look, man, I need the console because my internet is horrible. You know what I mean? Like I can't even download shit. I got to take it to the local game store. You're going to have some people that are going to be like that. Or you're going to have some people that just are skeptical. But the people that are willing to try it, if they say, hold on, I really can't, like how you can with PlayStation online. Like it's not at the point now where people say, I don't need a PlayStation. Number one, because you can notice a little bit of difference. But two, all the games aren't there. So if I'm a digital owner, and I play PlayStation Cloud on a PC, for instance, and it plays the same way that it does on the console, where I don't really notice a difference, then yeah, me as a digital person, if I can sit there and say, you know what, I really don't even need this console anymore, then I can see you moving forward with this campaign. And you have a test group right there. All your digital console owners, if they can sit there and say, you know what, I don't need the Series S anymore. That's awesome. I can trade it in and get more games. I don't need this anymore. Or maybe I'll put it in the spare room, but I don't need to. I'm going to play on this Fire TV. You have a test sample group right there. And the test sample group, they're not even entertaining it. So you don't roll this out yet. But enough about them. Back to PlayStation. You have another group that looked at that. They didn't just sit there and say, we're just going to make shit available. They said, it's a regional thing. That region is tapped out. We're going to go somewhere else. That's it. And we're going to extend it there. And by the time we extend our footprint in Asia, then maybe this cloud gaming thing will be more mainstream market friendly. But we're going to do the hard work and the investment, and we're going to tap other places, not Microsoft. This is why y'all should have not been caught off guard with all this Phil Spencer wearing the limbo shirts and all that other dumb shit. It doesn't even matter. The thing is that this is Microsoft. Microsoft has never been about quality. They've been about availability and timeliness. We came in at the right time. I didn't catch that comment from Juice. That even though we kind of moved off of that is true, Juice. But the thing about, and that, yeah, because I have a theory that I won't get we'll get into that. I'll say this. Some people have a theory. Some people will tell you, you threaten me, I don't think it's cool to be threatened. It actually makes me nervous. Some people will tell you that. And because it makes me nervous and it's going to consume my thought process, I'm going to take you out first. That's how some people think. That's how plenty of people think. So like you said, the thing about proactively announcing it's on site, you are now making yourself a moving target. And you don't know what ends. Look, let me tell you guys something. I once podcasted with somebody who I podcasted with somebody. And for those of you that know who the entities I'm talking about, don't say anything. But I'm telling you, this is why you got to be careful about the shit that you say. Even if you think you are tough, you got to worry about the shit you say. I once podcasted with somebody who we've dealt with some other people, and on another podcast, one of the people that we dealt with who was cool with me, and I got around how they joked, but they didn't really know this person, called said person a bitch on the stream. Called him a bitch on the stream. And they thought they could get away with it because the person was cool with me, and they joked, me and that person joked like that, so they were going to joke with this person like that. Person that was called a bitch hit me up, called me on my phone, and was like, "Yo, what's up with your boy calling me a bitch?" And I was like, "Oh, don't worry about it, man." And that person was demanding that we find a way to get over there, and this person was in another country because they were going to handle it. And I know they were dead ass serious. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, well, god damn. Yeah, this motherfucker, he ready to, go over the English channel, do some shit. Like, seriously. Like, no bullshit. And after talking to them for about an hour and calming them down, because they literally called me to say, look, I don't, I'm not playing no fucking game. I don't know what game you playing. I don't know what game they playing, but because this is your homeboy and they associated me to be a bitch, you're responsible for helping me get to them. You know what I'm saying? You're responsible for helping me get to them. And the person was dead ass. Had I got the information and gave it to them, goddamn. You don't know who you're dealing with on the internet. You have no fucking idea who you're dealing with. Don't play with people. Just don't play with them. Now, if somebody says something you don't like, you go ahead. You either you have a conversation with them or shut yourself off from them. But don't just assume that, again, you're going to say shit like it's on site and that's not going to resonate with somebody. Because I could resonate with somebody. They're like, oh, it's on site. Well, let me bring the site to you. Or, you're going to do this to, okay, well, we're going to do it to you first. A lot of these cats don't know street code. They just say a lot of shit out of emotion. And they put themselves and everybody else around them, and they need to stop that, for one. For two, now you're creating a dynamic where this whole incident can spread. People hear about it, and they're like, okay, well, now we can't open this to the public. Or now we can't do this, or now we can't do that. Or, simply put, they could say, well, look, we know this person could show up to this event. You're the one that made the threat. You're not invited. You could you could be putting yourself in a bad spot. There's nothing good that comes out of that all the way around. So just don't do that. Stop it. It makes no sense. Jonathan said it was me in cold blood. Geek is cracking up. Geek knows. Geek is showing I don't think they know who I'm talking about, but they know one of the parties. I'll put it like that. I'll just leave it. And they were dead ass serious. I know for a fact, I can vouch, I know for a fact that if I would have complied to what they said instead of talking them down, that's what they would have done. And I'd be testifying like, man, you'll understand. I was feeling nervous. I didn't want the motherfucker coming after me. You know what I'm saying? And generally the motherfucker's cool. But you don't sleep on what people are. This is the internet. This is not real life. Meaning you don't really know people. And you don't know what they're capable of. You only know that when you're in front of them, when you're actually feasibly. So don't put yourself in a bind by just saying, you know what, I emotionally feel this way or feel that way, so I'm just going to do this. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to the people you love around you, and don't do that for your possibilities, and don't do that to the community, because shit will get shut down because of it. You see that thing? You might know because you might have been told about the situation. You might know because that person, and I understand. I'm not upset about them being upset. I get why they were upset. I was just like, whoa. When you talk about if not playing was in the dictionary, it would be a picture of that motherfucker, because they were dead ass. Just don't play with people like that. I know the internet can be fun and games, but everybody's not playing. Yeah. You must be a New Yorker. You must be a New Yorker, Sean, or you might be a native New Yorker, because you tell a native New Yorker SMD, it's a wrap, and they're not even gonna say nothing. They're just gonna say bet, and then when they find you, they go, they give you that $1.50. You know what that $1.50 is? Look it up. You won't get oxed up real nice. That's how native New Yorkers do. You tell them SMD, it's a wrap. But a lot of cats don't understand this. They're from their own isolated regions, where they don't have experience with this stuff. And they think just because people are thousands of miles away, they can just talk crazy to them, reckless to them, and with no concern. And you don't know what people are capable of. But on the flip side of that, because they might be saying, well, maybe that's where Pierce is coming from. Well, you don't pre-announce it. You don't pre-announce it, because homie that called me didn't call up the other homie and say such and such, such and such. They did ask them a question. They said, what was that about? And the person did respond. We're like, no, man, it's all gravy. It's just this, that, and the other, to check the temperature. Because I guess I cooled them down a lot, but they still had to ask. I just want to see. Because fuck what boss is saying. Let this motherfucker come at me the wrong way. I'm going. And he checked the temperature and found out that everything was cool. So they left it alone. And, and that's why I say, having a conversation with people, checking the temperature, seeing what it really is, 99 times out of 100, you'll find out it's not as serious as you think it is. You know what I mean? All my life I had to fight resonated with me growing up. After becoming an adult, I realized most people don't grow up like that. Yeah, a lot of people don't grow up like that. I had to learn too. I had to, I had my one incident on the show where bro was just, and you could, after the fact, I could tell he just hated me because I liked Xbox. He literally hated me. I could tell after the show. And that was the first time that on doing this podcast shit I had been disrespected like that. Oh, the MM2K went away, the character went away, and the real motherfucker came through, and they was quiet the rest of the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, we're not even playing anymore. Keep going. And then I had to sit back and realize, and Z will tell you about, he ran through this too. Z said, rules of the street, you don't even talk. You just, you do what you gonna do. So he said a lot of times people would say shit to him, and he's like, okay, he's trying to find out where these cats live. And then he had to realize this is the internet. This is how people are on the internet. And I had to learn that too. So then I eased up a lot, and I just fell back into the character when people said shit, and I just talk shit with them. You know what I mean? But then I come from a place where we talk shit, but it's different where we talking shit and we clowning each other, and you're just straight up disrespecting me. You're not trying to clown anything. You're just trying to be straight up disrespectful in a very, very, very nasty way. Then I can feel that. But even now, that doesn't even bother me, because I get a lot of that, and I just flip it on people, and I just be nasty back to them. Last part, let's talk about this before we get out of here. So we talk about the Kadokawa. I just want to say real quick, just as a reminder, Because of this part right here, because of the expansion of publishing, and they still have to flesh this out, they said. They're not going to flesh it out until next year. But they still got, we don't know what's going to happen. PlayStation, China Joy is an example of what could be possible. PlayStation went to China Joy. They are going to do publishing on PlayStation with China Joy, and they're also going to do publishing for a lot of these China Joy entities on actual PC. So when you boot up the game on PC, you'll see the PlayStation logo, you know, because they're going to handle the publishing, right? That's more money to Hiroki to take. That makes them happy. That's more money for PlayStation, right? Who's to say they don't take that same model and go to FromSoft? I mean, go to Kadokawa and say, all right, or Kadokawa, I'm sorry, and say, you know what? We're not going to absorb you all the way, but we're going to strengthen your ability to remain independent, but let's agree to some things. And if they can prove to the rest of the voting bloc, hey, look, let's not even put these games on Xbox, or let's make them wait. They got to, if they're able to show, hey, these games, even though they making significant money on Xbox, this is just going to force the people to go to PC or PlayStation to play the game. So you'll still make your money. If they can convince them of that, then you can, and they, you know, they have significant voting power. You don't know. So I think it's like I told you guys about Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and the whole Game Pass thing. I said, I think you guys are celebrating too prematurely. And that might be the case right here. Again, do I believe that's going to happen? I don't know. It's going to be a tough sell because PlayStation, you know, I'm pretty sure when it comes to Elden Ring or FromSoft games, particularly an Elden Ring game, you know, they make a lot of money on Xbox. Nowhere near as much as PlayStation, but still, I still think they make a lot of money. Like they probably, if they sell like 20 plus million on PlayStation, they probably sell 10 plus million on Xbox. It's $70 either way. Same with a Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto is still, even if the other players and the other developers are going to skip Xbox, Grand Theft Auto knows that, hey, these people are going to buy this game. You know what I'm saying? And even though there's only 30 million consoles, let's just say if it stayed the same, I would still surmise that 10 million, you know, copies that launch year is going to be sold of Grand Theft Auto on Xbox. So, you know, Sony would have to do some convincing. But if they can do the convincing and they handle the publishing, you know, you could very well easily see a situation where Elden Ring don't come. It's not impossible. Is it likely? I heavily doubt it, but it's not impossible. All right. Last part, let's talk about the Mark Cerny video, where he was addressing the PS5 Pro. Here's my take on it. Because I saw most of the Mark Cerny video and I saw all of the Digital Foundry video. I still got to go through the Mark Cerny video. I think Mark's in Cold Blood can let you know what he thinks. I think Mark Cerny did a better job in explaining this new AMD technology and their overall look for the console. But me and Cold Blood was talking and I was looking for the parts that I saw where they better explain why. And this is my take on PSSR. I I think PSSR, even right now, is just fine. I don't think the problem is PSSR. I think the problem is Sony releasing bad PSSR games and giving them the enhanced label. I don't think that's correct. Now, I didn't come across the part yet where he kind of like delves into that. I was talking to Cold Blood, and to him it sounded as if they were like, look, yeah, we know about this, and we let the developers just, put it out there if that's what they want to do. I think that's a bad strategy because, again, look at the discourse over PSSR. When you look at the numbers, over 90% of the PSSR games seem to be fine to the general public. But it's that 10% in the way that they were handled and the obscurity of, well, is my favorite game going to be PSSR enhanced, but it be fucked up? Because of that, it's just a bad look. So as much as I understand that PSSR isn't always going to be perfect across the board, as I understand that there's AI and machine learning involved from the very beginning, AI and machine learning has to be trained. It never comes out perfect. DLSS never came out perfect. It has to be trained. Even though I understand that, I still don't see a point to having PSSR bad PSSR or pro enhanced patches be released that makes the game perform worse than the base model. I don't see any advantages of that. They can do what ABK did with Call of Duty. Watch Digital Foundry. They got a clip of what they did with that, where the thing that was making the shimmying and the white popping visual noise happen, they discovered in half a day how to fix it. Now, the reason why it took them several days to release the patch, which is odd to me, is that it had to go through PlayStation certification. So it took PlayStation certification a couple of days to approve the patch, and when they approved the patch, that shimmying and that white noise popping pretty much disappeared. So ABK proved that it can be done, that there's just a little bit extra effort that had to be done in order for it to be cleaned up. And I think what PlayStation wants to do is to say, hey, look, if you're having a problem, let's get 90% of that problem cleaned up, but let's get it to the point to where it does not make the game worse than what it was on the base. If we look at it overall, it's a better version than what was on the base. And then if there's a little pop here or a little shimmer here, that's fine. The AI and machine learning will clean that up over time. That's the way I think you should handle it, not this. But that's how I took it. Cold Blood, what were your thoughts on the Digital Foundry and the Mark Cerny videos?
First of all, why is the dude that made a near perfect PS5 Pro patch there? I don't want to hear his thoughts. I want someone from Remedies to stand trial over there and be asked questions. I want someone from Bloober team being asked why do you even bother putting a pro patch out if you gonna revert it completely anyway. That's what I want to know. I don't want to know how Insomniac did it. I don't care. They did it. They did a fucking job. Congratulations. I want to hear why Remedy can do it. To me, it sounded more like an ad for PlayStation 6, to be honest with you. Like, he was already talking about the future while we were still in the fucking present, and the damn thing just released. I'm like, why are you even talking about this right now? So, I think Mark Cerny is more excited to get his hands on much more powerful hardware to really do what the fuck he wants to do with this PSSR shit. This is just a fucking roadblock to him right now, where he tries to solve some shit before he brings out the actual masterpiece hardware. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that technical jargon that he was talking about, in the end, what does it matter to us gamers? It is only the results that matter to us, what we see on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And most of it is good. But, like I said, I'd rather hear Mark Cerny talk about my concerns about the Pro, not the part where I'm already convinced it's a great piece of tech.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and he didn't really answer that part.
He didn't answer. Yeah. So it was just I would have, and I think here's what I do think in regard to the questions that they got. I do like Oliver. I think Oliver is well more talented than Digital Foundry. He needs to leave them and maybe work at Sony. Like maybe Sony needs somebody that's connected to the average gamer so they can realize how this technology will hit, and maybe they'll start rolling some of this stuff out better. But it appeared to me that, at least looking at the Digital Foundry piece, that Oliver wanted to ask certain questions because he was going there, and I think that his questions that he was allowed to ask were pre-approved, if you know what I mean. I think they wanted to talk about certain things, and it's kind of like what you said. They brought Insomniac up there, but the questions are not what Insomniac did, because Insomniac is clearly fine. It's, why did Bloober Team have this problem? Why did this one have this problem? Why did that one have that problem? And I think would have probably been maybe even more effective than bringing Bloober and Remedy up there is, I think, bringing who made Black Ops 6? Was it Treyarch?
Yes.
Okay, bring Treyarch up there, or have Treyarch talk to the side. I know Digital Foundry has a video forthcoming, and I wonder why.
Of course, let the Xbox studio come up there and tell you how it's done, bro. Are you joking, bro?
Yeah, but I know it's crazy, but that's the irony of it, is that the Xbox studio, who had a problem, is the only ones that had a problem that did this right. Like, they had a problem and they said, "Oh, let's fix it," because Ubisoft didn't do it. And the other ones didn't do it. Fish Head or Fish Shark, whatever. But that's like a Ma and Pa studio. Fish Shark didn't do it, right? So I would want to get, which, to your point, that would have been better fulfilling. Yeah, sure. Bring Insomniac with you to show you the high, but then to show you the low, where somebody had a problem, bring them on to explain the problem too. Now, granted, the Call of Duty video is already out there where they talk about the interview, and the interview was forthcoming. But I agree with you. I think that this conference was done as a response to some of the things that were said. And what you want to do is answer all the questions. And I don't think that they did it. But I will say this, though. Yeah. Yeah, believe you me, when it comes to AI, we said this at the very beginning. If you are getting a PlayStation 5 Pro, and this was not a mystery, and this isn't necessarily good or bad. If you're getting a PlayStation 5 Pro, the purpose of the PlayStation 5 Pro and it having PSSR was to train PSSR for PlayStation 6. So we've always jokingly said look, you're beta testing PSSR for PlayStation 6. Now, how you're beta testing this and how bad of a problem that is dependent upon how Sony rolls this out. It could be a good beta test if, when you launch this thing, it does. Every game doesn't have it, but the games that have it, it works well. You're fully transparent on it, and issues are addressed quickly. It's a bad thing if very few games get this, all the games are slapped together on there, and it's not working well, and you're just expected to deal with messes. I think we're closer to the former than the latter, but we're not exactly where we need to be. Where, again, 10% failure rate is not bad, but why are we seeing it? It's like, if you ever seen an assembly belt and there might be that, I don't know, whatever it's doing and it finds the defective product and it plucks it out and it throws it away. That would be like them just leaving the defective problem on the belt. It's not worth training the AI and machine learning. And I'm better, and I'm more sympathetic about this because I understand AI and machine learning. I've been learning it, or I've been studying it since 2019. But understanding AI and machine learning, you are going to have some hiccups, but you got to take those off the conveyor belt until they can at least fix them, like how Treyarch did. And that's the irony. The irony is that, and it's an irony in two ways. Number one, it's the Xbox company, but then that shows you how important this console is to Xbox. It's more important to them than their own console is. Because they actually worked so hard, they came up with a solution in half a day. And if you watch the Digital Foundry video, the Digital Foundry clip, they explain to you what happened. There was a denoiser in the engine of Black Ops 6 that handles denoising and pixelation and shimmying better than the way PSSR does. So if this game was built from the ground up for PSSR, they would have built the denoiser around PSSR. But because in order for you to activate PSSR, the part of the code or whatever that's attached to the denoiser, you had to shut off. That's why it's shimmying like that. And that's probably the thing in a lot of these games, that their denoisers and whatever they got in there to reduce the shimmying is associated to a part of the code that you got to shut off if you're just going to slap PSSR on. And you have to code it. You have to recode it to where PSSR's anti-aliasing and upscaling or whatever is implemented, and you got to then find a back channel to recode your denoiser in. Treyarch was willing to do it. These other companies don't want to do it. They just want the label, and PlayStation is saying, yeah, you can have the label. That's what it sounds like to me, based upon that Digital Foundry clip. Check it out. Check it out there. It's the one guy, Catafarrell, that's hardly on there. He's talking about it with Oliver and Richard Ledbetter. But I saw that last week. So if that's what's happening, then you do have a case of devs being lazy and just saying, no, well, just give us the label. And PlayStation saying, okay. And PlayStation actually saying it's okay, even if it makes the game worse. That's the part that really got me. Like, I wouldn't give them the label. Like, that's why I said there should have been different classifications. Like, there's a pro enhanced beta. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would be cool with that. It's pro enhanced beta, where there's a pro enhanced label coming. You can try it. Still in the works. You can toggle it off and on. But it's not fully pro enhanced. And if somebody was like, well, hey, the benefits of PSSR or good enough for me for whatever reason they want to find. That's different. But do not force this upon people. Especially when they paid $700 for their console, Sony. That's that part of it is bad. And again, I'm used to this with Stadia. It was to the point to where I was starting to recommend to people, maybe you don't want to buy this day one, because a lot of times you buy a game day one on Stadia and it looks okay, but then you come back to it a week later and you're like, hold on, is this the same game? I remember feeling that way about Cyberpunk. I remember the first day that I bought Cyberpunk, everybody was like, oh, this is great. And I was like, this don't look too great to me. And it was me, and shout out to Stadia. What was his name? Oh man, what was dude's name? Geek. Stadia. He's VR. He's VR gaming now, I think. Not Stadia Rev, but it was Stadia something. And me and him were talking behind the scenes, and I was like, bro, is it just me, or is Cyberpunk not looking too great? And I was like, I think it's benefiting from the fact that it's so bad on consoles that this, it looks, I was like, it don't look too great to me. And Stadia, what's his name, was like, yeah. He's like, I feel the same way. He said, but maybe it's just us or whatever. I came back to it a week later. Then I was able to see what everybody saw. So I get how, the AI and machine learning got to train itself. But there has to be like a threshold where you say, no, this is too bad. We can't put this out here. This is too bad for a consumer that's buying this game, or that already bought this game, that bought this product. You got to clean this up a little bit more. You got to do a little bit. I know, I get we're asking you to do extra, but the flip side of it is that you could run into a situation where if somebody bought this console and they didn't buy your game before, they're now buying it. Did you guys see the Blue Sky stuff that's out there? If you didn't see it, let me put it out there for you. Hold on. Here it goes right here. Go to the web real quick. Where's Matt at? Oh, there he goes. Okay. So let's look at what he said about the PlayStation 5 Pro. Okay. Where's that? Okay. Here it goes. PlayStation 5 Pro accounted for 19% of the total PlayStation 5 units sold in the month, and 28% of the dollars. The launch month dollar sales of the PS5 Pro are 50% higher than the November 2016 launch month sales of the PlayStation 4 Pro, while units were 12% lower. So let's do this. I want to kind of give you guys an understanding of what that means. It means that that they sold less units, and by my estimates, they sold like when he says 12% lower, that's probably like a 2 point. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to determine because he's not giving specific numbers, but yeah, they sold 12% lower units. But again, because of the higher price of the PlayStation 5 Pro, they were able to make 50% more money on it. And that's understandable because of the price. $700, and you only sold 12% lower. And the fact that it accounted for 19% of the unit sales when people knew that a price slash was coming. And that's a lot. So the simple fact that you have a decent amount of PlayStation 5 Pros out there. I think it's more indicative of you not trying to force the AI and machine learning on these patches. You could very easily argue to the companies, look, I know you want the patch. We'll put the patch in beta. You know what I'm saying? Like we have games in beta right now that you can try, see what you think, try out the machine learning, give us valuable information. You could do that. Maybe what you guys can do is do a PlayStation, ain't there like a PlayStation developers program where, or beta program where, okay, before the game comes out and it's pro enhanced, put it in the beta thing. You can try it. Let people boot up and let people leave feedback on what was wrong with their experience. That's what I think you should do. That's how you still get people that want to try fucked up shit to try it, and it's not forced upon everybody else. But very interesting stuff. I'm going to check out the rest of the video. You guys do the same thing too. Here's what I'm going to do too, while we're here and while I'm thinking about it, because we're about to go. I want to put out here this video for you guys, that especially you fine folks that are now part of the, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so for you fine folks out there that just become members, we are now adding the video. Let's see here. And I'm going to put this out there. Those of you that are now members, you're probably getting a notification now. New members video. And if you're not a member, debunking Xbox ad video. If you're not a member, feel free to hit that join button. Join at the Foamy Homie level or higher to get access to the content. I forgot what. Hold on. Uh-oh. Let me see something here. Yeah, there's Foamy Homie and higher. Foamed up is the shout out tier. So make sure you're at Foamy Homie. Or really just go to Foamy Homie. If gifted homie is for those that get gifted. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's only more expensive because YouTube forces us to set it at $4.99. Our Foamy Homie level is set for $3.99. So if you want to take care of your subscriptions on your own, hit your $3.99 tier. All right. With that said, that's it for today's show. Let's Cold Blood. Did you have any more you wanted to get into real quick, brother? Oh, okay.
No, not really.
All right. Well, we will see you guys and gals here tomorrow for the main show. Same time, same bat channel. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Thank you for all the support. Sean, we're going to get you some help, bro. We're going to get you some help, man. I promise. All right. Until next time, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.